Hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the channel. Today we have an exciting episode in a series of episodes where we're doing some ammunition testing on 5.7 by 28. And in particular, we're going to be looking at some elite ammunition, S4. It's a 28 grain projectile. Let's get to shooting. Well, what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to be taking a look at the Ruger LC Charger. It's also chambered in 5.7 by 28, but it has a 10.5 inch barrel. We're going to be taking a look at the two PSA Rocks, one that has a 5.3 inch barrel and one that has a 4.7 inch barrel. We're going to see how this elite ammunition, the S4 version of their ammunition that has a 28 grain projectile, and we're going to see how it performs in these three different pistols. We're going to see how barrel length affects the 5.7 by 28. I've done some other testing, but I've never done it with the gel test. So we're going to add in the gel test. We're going to keep with our Garmin 0C1, and we're going to see how this performs ballistically. And then we're also going to test some practical accuracy. All right, well, I think this should be a pretty fun episode. I'm excited to see how the barrel length impacts this elite ammunition. I'm excited to see, does it run? How does it perform in gel? It seems to be smoking fast, but does it get the ballistic performance in the gelatin that we need to see for a self-defense round? All of our testing today is going to be conducted in the gun range. None of the magazines contain more than 23 rounds of ammunition. I don't have any modifications done to these guns. I don't have a hair trigger. We should be good to go, YouTube. Let's get to shooting. Okay, well, we have some of this S4 Elite ammunition. We're going to be shooting it out of our 4.7 inch PSA Rock. By the way, it gets exactly the same velocities as what our M&P 5.7 does. This is the non-threaded barrel version, not the compact. So the 4.7 inch PSA Rock with the S4 ammunition. Let's go down and see how it did. All right, well, let's just take a look and see what we got here. We had this S4 ammunition come in and do some terrific damage. You can't see it as well from this angle. I'll show it from the other angle. But the bullet ended up only at about 8.5 inches there. Maybe 9, most likely 8.5. But really fantastic wound characteristics. You see a lot of tumbling with that S4 ammunition. This isn't their top of the line ammo. At some point we'll probably get some of that, but let's take a look at what it did in the other direction. If we take a look here, it had some pretty significant deviation. I don't like that. So if you were aiming for something over here, a vital, you might miss it, because when it went in, it tumbled, deviated left pretty sharply. But you can see it flattened out. It must have been spinning this vertical or this horizontal way, so you don't see it as much in the gel there, but you can certainly see it here. That was pretty big. All right, well, let's move on to the next gun. Okay, well, next up we have our 5.2 inch PSA Rock. Has a threaded barrel. Let's see how it does with this S4 ammunition in the gel block. Let's go and see how that did. Let's just take a look and see what happened with this round. As you can see, it got about the same distance, so that extra barrel length, even though I often see the extra barrel length provides additional velocities, we're talking about 50 feet per second, generally speaking. Maybe not enough of a difference to make a difference, but as you can see here, entering into the gel, and then another pretty serious deviation, and gets out again to that 8.5, maybe 9 inches. It might have gotten ½ inch more of penetration, and probably has about a ½ inch more barrel length. So there you go, if that makes any sense. This is the shorter PSA Rock, and this is the threaded barrel PSA Rock. See, they both like to do that curl. This one curled that way and went down. So it went down a little bit and curled left, but pretty good tumbling and explosive, but those bullets are 100% intact, which is probably what you'd expect with this round. Okay, well, we have our Ruger LC carbine. We're going to see how we do with this gel block. Let's see if we can get it in. Again, it has a 10.5-inch barrel, and we're shooting that Elite Ammunition S4. Let's go see how it did. All right, well, let's just take a look and see where that round hit. It came in right here, just a little bit below what we had for the threaded barrel version. It came in here, and what we see is pretty similar wound characteristics and expansion characteristics and tumbling as we did from the other rounds. And in fact, we saw that in the end, out of the handgun, we got a little bit more penetration. So that extra 4 inches of barrel, 5 inches of barrel, didn't really make that much difference. I know we see the difference in the gel, but I'm wondering if I'm not really seeing the extra tumbling. And I do think this is the best angle that you're going to see it at. Of course, those are linear marks. They look pretty huge, but if you look in the other dimension, they're flat like this one is up here. And this is our 3 S4 bullets. There's nothing remarkable to see in these. Okay, well, we have the 28 grain S4 ammunition with our non-threaded barrel PSA Rock. We're going to shoot about 6 or 7 rounds, see how it performs. And we didn't capture it. We'll see if we get a little closer. There we go. 22-23, 21-74, 21-91, 21-96, 21-92, and 21-97. For our 6 shots, we had a min of 21-74, a max of 22-23, an extreme spread of 48.9, an average kinetic energy of 300 energy foot-pounds, which is pretty much 9mm, so that's not bad. And yeah, average 21.96. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look at the threaded barrel version. We'll take a look how this performs. With the Garmin, we have our 28 grain S4 Elite ammunition. 2282, 2261, 2298, 2260, 2265, and 2266. So for our 6-shot average, we had a min of 2260, an average of 2272, and a max of 2298, and our kinetic energy was 321. That's a nice pickup in that. We didn't see a big difference when we shot it in the gel, but there is more energy going into these rounds. Well, we have our LC charger in this Elite S4 ammunition, 28 grains, 2623, 2614, 2606, 2605, 2591, and 2615. So for our series, we had a min of 2591, a max of 2609, sorry, an average of 2609, a max of 2623, and an extreme spread of 31. And we had an average kinetic energy of 423. That's 100 foot-pounds of energy more. That's a lot more. Didn't really see it in the gel, but that's a lot more energy. We had to change ranges. We're at a new range. We're still going to do our accuracy testing. We have a target downrange at about 15 yards. We have our non-threaded barrel version of the PSA Rock, and we've got 5 rounds loaded of this Elite ammunition S4. It's a 28 grain ammunition. We'll see how we do with accuracy out of this non-threaded barrel with no optic. Okay, not bad. We're going to load up 5 more rounds. We're going to try it in our threaded barrel version. with an optic and see how it performs there, see what kind of accuracy we can get. Okay, we got 5 rounds of this S4. We do have an optic on. I better see some improvement here. We're going to go for that top target. Yeah, that was not the type of improvement that I was hoping to see. Those felt good. Maybe I went a little faster, and that could have been the issue, but yeah, and I've got 1 round left, so we're going to do 6 in this next one, and we're going to bring out the LC charger. All right, we have 6 rounds loaded up in our LC charger. We're going to see how we do with accuracy. 15 yards. Okay. Oh, one more. Not bad. All right, I think for practical purposes, this ammunition is good enough in the accuracy category. Let's summarize what we've been doing today. Okay, well, to summarize things, we've been shooting our Elite Ammunition S4. It's our 28 grain projectile, where we saw we had pretty great performance in terms of velocity, but in terms of bullet performance, not great in gel. Now, that's not what Jay over at Elite Ammunition designed it for, but it's still a pretty good bullet. You got some good tumbling going on. Today, we had some great reliability out of this round. In the past, I have had some unreliability with a lot that I got that wasn't quite as good. It actually was a little bit over spec and I was getting pop primers with it. Haven't had any of these issues with it with the 2 boxes of ammunition that I fired today. So I think in terms of, is this something that you could rely on for your defense? Is it accurate enough? I think so. Are there better rounds that you're going to get better wounding in the gel from this? I also think so. So I think in terms of like, is this one of the best self-defense rounds for a pistol out of your little carbine? I think there are better rounds of ammunition. We didn't get quite the penetration in the gel that I was hoping to achieve. We definitely got some great wounding. But in terms of, is this the round that you should choose for your self-defense? All right, I hope everyone had a great time. I certainly did. Let's get to shooting.